Hello everyone. Today I am going to explain about the concept of curvature. What is mean by curvature? How many formulas are there? Now we will see. Curvature. If you observe C1, C2, C3, C4. Now here C1 is a straight line. C2 and C3, C4 are curves varying degrees of bending. Now this is it bends a little bit and it is more bended, and C4 also more bended. Now these are C2, C3, C4 are curves varying degrees of bending. More degrees of bending, more like that. Now what is curvature? The concept of curvature. Now curvature is a concept introduced to quantify the degrees of bending. How many degrees it is bended in a curve. To quantify the degrees of bending is called the degrees of bending. Quantify the degrees of bending, they introduced the concept of curvature. Now here if you see the curves C1, C2, C3, C1, C2, C3 and C4, like that. So many curves are there. Now C1 is a curve having some degrees of bending at one point or 2 points. At one point or 2 points, if you extend the points like this, you will get one circle. C1 is a curve, it is having some degrees of bending at 1 point or 2 points. If you extend the points, you will get one circle. To that circle you will get one center and some radius also. The curvature is having some degrees of bending at any point, at 1 point or 2 points. If you extend the curve, you will get one circle. To that circle center you will have one radius. This radius is called radius of curvature. The center is called center of curvature. Now always remember, now now this is C2 is more than this, more degrees of bending. C3 is having more degrees of bending, so like that. Now that's why curvature, degrees of bending is nothing but curvature. C1 is less than C2, less than C3, less than C4. That means C1 is having less degrees of bending than C2, and C2 is having less degrees of bending than C3, like that. Curvature, degrees of bending. Now always remember, curvature is always proportional to 1 by radius of curvature. 1 by radius of curvature. Curvature is inversely proportional to radius of curvature. Now curvature is nothing but degrees of bending. How many degrees of it is having. Now here one more thing you can observe. If the degrees of bending is less, you will get one big circle. If you get one big circle, the radius you will get big radius of curvature also, you will get one big radius of curvature. For example, if you see this curve, this is having more degrees of bending. This curve is having more degrees of bending than this. Now, so that more degrees of bending, that means more curvature it is having. This C3 curve is having more degrees of bending. That means more curvature it is having. At 1 point or 2 points, if you extend that points, you will get one circle. To that circle, you will get one center, you will get one radius. That means it is having more degrees of bending. It is having more curvature. It is having more degrees of bending, or it is having more curvature. You will get one small circle. If you get small circle means you will get a small radius of curvature. That means if you get more degrees of bending, the radius of curvature is more. If the curvature is more, the radius of curvature is less. Curvature is more, then radius of curvature is less. If the curvature is less, curvature is very small, then the radius of curvature is, you will get a radius of curvature is big, like that. And then the radius of curvature is defined as, you can define the radius of curvature in this manner. The radius of curvature is defined as the reciprocal of, radius of curvature is defined as the reciprocal of curvature. It is denoted by rho. Rho is equal to 1 by chi. Chi, it is the symbol you have to denote as chi. Radius of curvature is 1 by chi. Chi is curvature. Radius of curvature is equal to 1 by chi.